for the nerds. This is for the brainiacs. This what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back. You ain't gonna touch me. You not gonna do nothing. You are not above me. I bet you wish you was me. I know it. I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the OnlyFriends podcast. Man, I am.
Your anal probe is misplaced.
You shut your mouth.
What are you sitting on?
Pissy pants over here.
I sneezed and had a bit of incontinence.
Sitting on a bike seat.
That sounds like a very nice way of putting it. Yes, I'm sitting on what is known as the human tool, young Ethan.
That looks somewhat comfortable from this angle here.
It's actually not. It goes right into your perineum and anus. And that's why you like it.
No, it goes into your perineum and anus because you are very small. This is built for a normal-sized human. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Okay.
Maybe now that you've built up
so your perineum and anus are too big for it?
Correct. Now that you've built up a little bit of the rump, you should give this another shot.
I did, and I went into my perineum and anus. I didn't like it.
I don't even think you have a perineum, do you?
Yeah.
I thought that was just a guy thing.
No.
Tiny little skin flap for you.
Well, it's not a flap. It's just it's a little stretch of skin. There shouldn't be flaps.
A little pea catcher.
Yours. If there is, you should check that out.
A little pea catcher.
I need people who don't know, like myself, what is a perineum?
It's your taint.
Your taint.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
I've never heard of that word before.
What's
in
the
my life.
people that don't know, like
taint
myself?
and
What is a
gooch?
What is a taint?
Taint is
you
a
don't know what a
gooch?
taint is?
No, I'm
It's a
just saying, what's the
gooch.
difference between gooch and taint?
No, it's a gooch, it's a taint, it's a grundle.
It's the piece of skin between your anus and other genitals.
I don't like how far apart your fingers were in describing.
It's just a little.
Well, like for guys, it's longer, I think.
Yes. Basically, it is. What was the name of the strait that connected the continents?
A
land bridge?
canal?
Yeah, but
Panama Canal.
No. It's gone now.
The Bering Strait?
Yes, the Bering Strait. It's effectively the Bering Strait. You know, when
Bering Strait still exists.
I thought it's.
The Bering Strait is the
Here we are with
water
the fact
between.
Well, that was where I was going with this.
Right,
it used to be land,
Yeah,
right? And
and
that's what a
right.
taint represents to men. And now it's a water passway, which is, basically the taint for women. It's eroded.
So you like this balloon thing up there? It makes you help you feel
This
alive
is
or
not a
something?
balloon. Look,
It's a
it's
Oh,
a
it's
saddle.
not a balloon. Oh, saddle.
saddle.
So you like it? Oh, you really? Oh, I see
See
the.
that part,
I see
bumpy
the end.
part?
See the part
Yeah.
that goes
Yeah,
up
that goes
your ass?
right into your.
There's nothing bumpy here, okay? This is-
there's a look at that. Look at that curve. It flips up.
That's a couple inches deep in there
That
for sure.
slope, yeah.
Okay,
At a bare
you are
minimum.
not
That's
supposed to
deep.
sit on
That is-
this.
No, you sit behind, and then that's
this
scoops in.
That's
no,
in there.
my dick rests on this.
Jesus.
And my
Oh,
balls.
see, I think I was
sit back
sitting
here.
on it backwards.
Like
Damn it.
this?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what-
that's a problem.
That's what I
Okay.
thott that was.
Hey,
Yeah.
save that for a Friday show.
That
This
sounds
is
like-
Wednesday. What are we doing here?
This sounds like user error as far as I can tell.
Well, they should have made it clearer.
You used to ride horses.
Yeah,
I feel like you
That's
can figure
fair.
this one out.
that's fair. It is now that you say it's a saddle, I understand.
Right.
Welcome to the show, Ethan.
This is awesome. What a great fam and crew you got going on here.
We were supposed to be joined by your better half, Mike Jozoff. Apparently,
her.
he's on his way, I guess.
Doing something.
You don't
Yeah.
keep tabs on this kid?
I think he'll take his time. I don't know. He goes through life dilly dallying, and he'll show up when he shows up.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that once he gets in here.
I'm excited to see the arm wrestling match.
You're definitely
good
arm
content.
wrestling on camera, right?
Yeah, you
I
gotta-
don't think so.
Come on, don't
I
be,
mean,
don't
we'll
be a
see.
baby about it.
It's been,
Don't want to get your ass handed to you.
Okay, look, here's what happened. I
camera.
mopped the floor with him left-handed, and he very handily beat me right-handed,
Yeah.
as to be expected.
Pretty, I guess it's
You're a
kind of
lefty?
hard to
Yes.
have a fair match when
Different
two people have
dominant
are
hands.
our opposite dominant hands.
I think he thought he was going to lose both ways, and I think if I had like naturally stronger wrists, that may be the case. I'm very fragile though. Wrists are very weak. Grip strength, very
I have a
weak.
Very bad wrist myself.
Very weak grip strength.
Instead of arm wrestling, then just do like a full out wrestling match. That seems
I'm just
fair.
gonna punch him in the face as soon as he walks in the door. Just he comes
It's
up the
on now.
stairs. Hi guys, just boom, lay him out and be like, Mike's here. That's it. So yes, Mike and Ethan and Mike, the new poker dynamic duo, they'll be joining us today. We're gonna have a nice little sit down chat with the young men, hear about their stories, how they've gotten to here. I don't want to spoil too much.
I like this branding. You're making us a couple now.
Yeah, well,
It's
I've had
really
lots of
pushing the
I've had a lot
couple.
of poker couples narratives now, and Mike's the third one. Just going
Really?
through guys left
who are
and
the
right.
others?
Mariano. was
Mariano
one,
for
yeah.
sure. Me and
Well,
Wolfgang do some couple stuff
coattailed
together.
Mariano. That's way different.
Coattailed him.
Yeah. Yeah, you wrote his coattails to fame.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, you know.
There is no Rampage without Mariano. You know what I'm saying?
There's no Mariano without Rampage. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I think we help each other out.
Obviously, I believe that's
He wins, I punts, and then he makes up all the money that I lost.
Right.
And now, we're even.
Yeah, I actually think this is
makes
very
sense.
fair. I really want to get Mariano on Poker Out Loud because I'm interested to see. Well, I actually want both. I wanted to do a podcast interview with him because I don't know anything about his backstory. And you young guys that make your way into the higher stakes live so quickly kind of fascinates me. I think we're going to get to dig into a little bit of your and Mike's paths. But also, I want to see him on Poker Out Loud because I've never played with him. And via his vlogs, I get the impression that he's good. But there's a lot of editing in vlogs, bro.
I have a lot of respect for his game.
Okay.
From like being friends with him.
Well,
and
that actually means something now.
So-
It meant nothing 2 years ago, though.
what? Oh, yeah.
Your respect, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When I showed up for the Poker Out Loud here in this room, first time, that was awful. That was really good. That was very eye-opening.
Really?
I learned so much.
Tell me more.
I was here, did the Poker Out Loud. We'll throw a little flashback if you can. I don't know. Anyways, played with Matt, Vaughn, Johnny Vibes, Landon. I gave him a bunch of money. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Savage, Marley, and maybe that was it.
That was it,
Six
yep.
of us. Yeah. I never studied before in my life. I was playing 1-3, playing 2-5, clicking buttons along the way. I'm still clicking buttons, but when I'm playing Northeast Poker, I'm not playing against good players. Sorry, Northeast Poker players. We're playing 1-3. I'm not playing against Landon Tice. So
Sure.
Obviously it was a good introduction to oh, this is Vegas, these are the pros, and this is what I need to do and get better. This is the path in which I need to learn how to get better. And that was a good introduction, watching back every single episode intently of oh, this is how other people are thinking about the game. And from there, I learned what I didn't know, which was a whole lot. And now 2 years later, I'm learning a little bit more and trying to learn and study. But for the most part, that was a good intro. I learned a lot that long day, long day.
It was a
of
long
recording.
day for sure. I'm happy to hear that there was some sort of awakening from that. My first introduction to you was when you won your bracelet, which would have been prior to this filming. That happened.
We keep talking about it because the day before you FT'd it. You FT'd the bracelet before
Was that when we were in Tahoe?
No, that was long before that. It was
COVID.
the first.
Oh.
It was the first online bracelet during COVID.
Oh, really?
But the only reason I even heard about you was not because you won the bracelet or because you streamed it, but because you were streaming during all of the bracelet events. And someone in my chat told me that you were talking about me on your stream. You had shouted me out or something for making the final table. And then the next day you final table, I was like, all right, I'm going to go see what this kid's all about. And I was watching with horror.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was I can't look away. This is incredible.
It's literally a car crash, and somehow I was able to avoid all the cars and end up having all the other cars crash behind me.
I was so happy for you and for poker as a whole after you'd won the bracelet, but I was so goddamn salty after not closing
you
back-to-back days myself.
If I can, honestly, I'm winning tournaments. What are you doing here, bro?
I don't know,
What's
man.
going on?
Look, I'm a cash game player. I'm here to renounce my tournament. Well, maybe not, because I still have to get these invites somehow. I stink, guys. I absolutely stink.
How much you win 3 days ago or something?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I lost
it all.
Every
all
penny
day.
I lost off stream. Every fucking
That's
penny.
usually so. You did
So
the inverse.
unlucky.
You lose a bunch of money off stream, on stream usually, but now this time you lost it all off.
Yeah. Low key, I've only been surviving by winning off stream, and I've just been racking up massive losses on stream, and it's been a good gig for a while.
Yeah,
You
that's
still
good.
can't get invites? Jeez.
What happened was I won in a lineup with Ivy, and somehow that just like qualified me as being too good to play anymore. And I don't really know why, because he was betting sports and like flatting six ways with ace king suited, so he wasn't exactly giving it his all.
Is that the one, the Hustler one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a nice weekend. Very nice weekend.
So big.
Before we dig in any deeper into all of this, let's take a quick pause for us to plug a bunch of shit. I don't want you guys to forget that we started a new membership program. For anybody who's familiar with Twitch, YouTube has now introduced memberships the same way subs exist on Twitch. So if you guys want to be a member of the Nerds and Brainiac Nation, feel free to click that join button. With your membership, you'll get early access to new uploads. We have the OnlyFriends Poker Out Loud season coming up soon. You guys will have early access to that. We give member shout outs such as Fun Dumb Metal in the chat. Shout out to my man who just joined with the tortoise groovy emotes. You also get access to these emotes. Yeah, put your do-rags up in the chat. Priority reply to comments and a discounted merch or S4Y membership code every month. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. We're going to be branching off. We're going to be adding new tiers to that moving forward as well. That's going to include a plethora of stuff, which we're going to talk about tomorrow after the show. So hopefully we'll have some new announcements for that next week. Also, a new course is out on S4Y TV. This is included with your all-in access membership. It's by Matt Hunt. It's called All the Sims Are Wrong. I think we're going to have a little tease of that right now.
The majority of commercially available sims don't take into account one major part of the equation for tournament poker, and that is ICM. Using a software tool called Hold'em Resources Calculator, I'm going to be able to analyze a variety of tournament situations to examine the effect that ICM has on particularly pre-flop, but also to some extent post-flop ranges. Obviously, the closer we get to the end of a tournament, the more significant the variation in the value of decisions. But even in the earlier phases of an event, small fluctuations in the nature of a player's pre-flop range can greatly affect the way that certain scenarios play out across multiple streets post-flop.
So that was the All the Sims Are Wrong. And speaking of All the Sims Are Wrong, there's been a hurricane in Florida.
There has been. Actually, the Sims were right about that. They said it's going to crash right into the Gulf Coast, and yeah.
That's pretty scary.
I think it just made
Are
landfall.
people okay?
I mean, I don't know. I saw some fucking
Oh my
videos of
goodness.
Yeah.
Look at that
people
tree.
swimming and stuff.
Oh wow! Hopefully, there was a
What?
lot of mandatory evacuations. I have my aunt and uncle and my cousin live down there. They had to evacuate. Luckily, we have another cousin that lives more inland.
Yeah.
So they were all able to get to his place and hunker down. They said that the last time I talked to her was this morning. She said the winds were starting to pick up, but they still had power. So
Goodness.
it's pretty brutal because it's one of the biggest hurricanes to ever hit Florida. They said.
I feel like Florida hasn't had one in a while.
But
But they're always, whenever
this
I'm there,
big,
like I
right.
would go there as a kid and be always afraid that this next storm was going to be like a hurricane because the weather is so crazy there.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
Is it a 5?
It was just below a Cat 5. I think 155 mile an hour winds, which 157 is Cat 5. So like 2 miles
Right.
below, 2 miles an hour below a Cat 5. And
Basically.
then when it hit, it was a Cat 4. So
I mean, I think it's bad when there's sharks swimming in
Oh
the
my
street.
gosh,
Stop.
no way.
what?
What? Well, to be honest, if anyone's going to survive a Category 5 hurricane, it's Florida.
I know this looks like some Florida man shit, but it's actually, to double back on what we were saying, that's some Australian shit. You're just walking out in the neighborhood, there's like bull sharks floating around, you know.
Well, they said that there was going to be up to 18-foot storm surges, and so like saltwater storm surges coming in, right? So like if you can imagine, 18
People's houses
feet.
there are going to be like
Oh,
destroyed.
yes, they said it's easily $1 billion worth of damage.
What's a storm surge?
Easily. So it's when the So when the hurricane is coming in and the winds are blowing, it just takes the tide and it just blows it into the coast. And up
Yeah.
So
18
is this
feet.
where Miami finally disappears?
No.
Well, no, this is on the other side.
Oh, it's on the West Coast.
We get to keep
Right,
Miami.
it's on the
Hard
West Coast.
Rock
It came up through
Gulf?
Cuba and into the Gulf and strengthened through the Gulf and slammed right into the
This is like Fort Myers.
Fort
Yeah.
Myers, Bradenton, just south of Tampa. I mean, Tampa's going to get hit too, but
There's
it's
a Hard
so
Rock.
big.
There's a Hard Rock Tampa.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
There is a Hard Rock
So
Tampa. I've
hopefully
been
that
there.
stays.
Yeah.
The
Good
Seminole
space.
will stay.
Seminole.
So what you're saying is beachfront property has just gone down a little bit in value.
It has. Trying to
Perhaps
scoop
if you're,
some up.
yeah, if you're looking to get a rebuild project together, maybe the west coast of Florida might be the spot to go to.
Always finding a deal.
Yeah.
you.
This
When there's
guy.
blood in the streets,
Trying
buy
to-
real estate.
Trying to take advantage.
That's the old phrase, you know. No, honestly, obviously, everybody's hopeful that this doesn't turn into a national disaster and a
Right.
catastrophe similar to Katrina.
Yeah.
I did see that yesterday. People were trying to evacuate and like the flights were all canceled. So I don't know what the protocol here is. I assume that it's just to drive inland.
That is the plan now. Or like if you had time, if you got through earlier, you could drive up the coast, I guess.
Yeah.
But now it's just move inland. But they said there was going to be 110-mile-an-hour winds, essentially into like central Florida, like all the way in. So like
wild.
there were people, they were saying that even like Orlando, people that live in Orlando were going to have to like hunker down because the storm is so big and the winds are so powerful that it's going to be like tornadoes coming through.
Sure. Much more survivable though than being like on the coast.
Of course.
The brunt of
it will. The storm will weaken as it goes through.
Yeah, I just wonder like what
land.
percentage of people don't take this stuff seriously and kind of just don't
I think it's
evacuate.
I would say high.
No, I don't know.
When you live in Florida, I think you know that can always happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's always people that are gonna be like, "No, I'm not leaving," and sometimes they regret it. But I think for the most part, I would say, hopefully, high 90s% of the people heeded the warning.
You said
10%. 10%'s a lot. No, I understand.
I said
You're-
high 90s.
Yeah, so which makes like so like sub 10%. You're saying?
Yeah.
You think 95% of people evacuate?
I hope.
Probably not.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I don't think so.
When you get fair warning of a national catastrophe like this, like
Maybe they
I
have
would
like
think not.
I just worry that there are certain
boats.
people that can't evacuate, right? Like the impoverished who maybe don't have vehicles,
Right.
don't have means to transportation.
And I think that hopefully there was some systems set up to get those people out of there. I
A
mean,
lot
it
of
was
hope.
mandatory evacuation, so it was like by law you're supposed to leave.
Right. Not really going to be enforced though.
I mean,
Or horses, cops on horses riding down.
no.
They're taking like speedboats around like, hey, what are you doing here? You're under arrest. Get in the boat.
I mean, there was a guy wakeboarding on it, being pulled by a truck.
Yeah, like there's
So,
all these
just
idiots, right?
Yeah.
that's very Florida.
Yeah, but it's Florida also. Like I'm thinking like a good 20% doesn't evacuate.
Man, that's high. I think it's really high. Slight aside to the hurricane, Lex Friedman put out a podcast yesterday with Daniel Negreanu, and one of our very own Landon Tice got a little shout out
Yeah, he did.
/ maybe call out, I guess, depending on how you look at
Sounds
it.
like more of a call out.
From D-Negs.
I want to become a slave to the sim, as I say, right? There's one kid I know, I joked with him, his name's Landon Tice. And, he made a play that the sim, would say, this is a good play. But I'm like, it's a good play, in a simulated world against the robot. It's not in practice against the human, right? You don't need to be doing that. So if you become a slave to the sim and always do what the sim says, you're handcuffed to a certain degree. Is there some... I want to become a slave to the sim, as I say, right?
He's the
There's
slave
one
of
kid
the
I
sim
know,
now.
like-
He was once the child of the sim.
Now he's
Yeah.
the slave of the
Now
sim.
he's a slave to the sim, according to
To the
D-Negs.
sim. Yeah.
I haven't heard the whole interview yet, but Lex is one of my favorite podcasters, just very high intellect. His interview with Liv was fantastic. I'm kind of interested to see how Daniel approached it because
I watched the first half.
what'd you
and,
think?
I thought like his explanation of poker for the layman was probably the best I've heard. Lex was asking a lot of like very good questions about just like the game. He's like, how do you like how can you explain like what a range is? How do you like factor that in when you're playing? What when you're like using a range, are you trying to like misrepresent it in order to block? Like he's asking a lot of like good layman questions, and Negreanu was answering them very particularly.
Probably good that he had Liv on first, because I think she kind of explained a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like GTO goes,
Right.
And how all that works.
Yeah, there's a few things that I think interest me the most about this. One, Lex's audience certainly aren't exactly lay people in from an intellectual standpoint,
Right.
but they
Right,
may
no, of
be
course.
from an exposure to
Yeah.
poker standpoint. So like I would imagine the bulk of the audience can get poker at a fundamental mathematical level. And two, Daniel is like very hard against complication. So he is very much on the side of simplification, even for like complex problems. So I know the way that he frames these things and the way that he speaks is often reduced to the most common denominator, and that's probably why it does come across well for the layperson. So I'm interested to hear it because Lex is just a very high intellect, and I think he digs. So it's difficult to keep that simplification language the whole way throughout. But Daniel's probably the best guy to do it because like he doesn't nerd out the same way a lot of us who have been in the industry for 20 years. Like
that's what it takes a lot of discipline to not nerd out and remember who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
So
well, it's
felt like
especially
he did
hard
a
when the
really good
host
job.
is the type to nerd out.
Yeah, but he also didn't like he doesn't know poker enough to nerd out on poker.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, with that said, welcome, Mike. Your laptop's closed.
Yeah. So it'll be open in about 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I understand. I didn't know. I thought the worst had happened.
No.
Okay, so you're still gonna battle.
We're chilling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking. Hey, welcome.
How's
We're
it going?
happy to have you.
Happy to be
Hey.
here.
Welcome.
Thanks, Melissa.
Why do you look like you have to shit?
I always look like that.
Okay.
That's why no one folds to me on the river.
I understand. Can you
Yeah.
do me a favor? Can you pull the mic down and closer to you a little bit?
Like here.
Yeah, that's great. Now,
All right.
well,
All right. This is good,
That's
right?
good, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just, before it looked like you were gonna eat it, and
I think this is good, right?
Yeah.
now it looks like it's gonna eat you. So that's great. So we got, you go ahead, you do your thing. We understand you have an office job. You have to take care of some shit, but I got questions, man.
Go ahead.
I got questions for both of you.
Go ahead.
So first and foremost, you guys are young up and comers in this industry. It's turned into a young man's game. Us old timey regs, we're withering away, fade into the wayside.
Becoming bad regs, you said.
I said old timey regs, not bad regs.
You know.
I'm
That's a made-up
I'm a
tomato.
bad rec now, Ethan. I'm a businessman.
You're a
okay.
businessman.
I want goddamn recreational
Moved on
lineups.
to bigger and better things
Yeah,
like
podcasts.
demolished homes in the west coast
Yeah.
of Florida.
Right. Yeah, of course. How'd you two crazy kids meet? Tell us the origin story. How'd this bromance develop?
It was a nice Friday night, and I was catching the breeze of LA, walking down the streets, and this young, fine fellow catches my eye.
Not far from the actual
Oh.
story, though.
Sure.
I think we met at a private game, right?
Yeah.
Is that
you want
true?
to do the accent?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not just jump right in.
He's like, do you want to be the racist one, or
No,
would
I
you
think
like me to
should,
do
you're
it?
like, you're twice as entitled to be racist as I am, right?
Yes, because you're only half Asian.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll pass for now.
Yeah.
No, we met at a private game in LA. My friend Justin Escalona's game. Living with him at the time in LA.
You're
and
23,
I just turned 23.
and you're in private games.
I mean, this isn't like 100,
Like a-
200.
like a
it's like
friendly
5, 10.
game. Oh, okay,
yeah, it's
okay.
not nothing crazy.
Oh, so
it was
I
actually
have
like-
played in some pretty big games in LA though.
Whoa, okay,
But not,
sick flex,
but
bro.
not like not like the games you've played in, but
Hey,
good enough to make a little bit of money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got to pay that rent.
Yeah.
Go on, you guys.
I don't know,
Hamming it up.
I think
at
it was
little...
a 5-5 game.
Yeah, it might have been 5-5.
5-5.
I mean, it was really. This wasn't like there's no pros in this game pretty much, and it was just like Justin is a YouTuber and an influencer, so it was a lot of like I don't know who was there, kind of like
A lot of his friends.
Yeah,
and,
his friends.
and some of your friends.
music
and,
people in the music industry were there.
Yeah.
And it was like a small game, really more of a social thing. I mean, I wasn't there to print a win rate at all. So
Allegedly.
I
it's not possible with the Rick.
Okay.
I recognize the kid's name, and I went to go look on Instagram. This kid has 359,000 followers.
Oh, so he's
Jesus.
way more popular than both these guys.
Yeah, put together.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it fell off.
Let's see.
Got called out.
No,
Okay.
I mean, Ethan's engagement is killing it. So
Yeah,
that's kind of
well,
what I mean.
that's-
I mean,
There's a life cycle to this whole thing,
Yeah.
so it's cool that Berkey understands.
Yeah.
yeah,
if you're
but
in
Justin
content.
also isn't doing YouTube like full. He doesn't really post on YouTube anymore. He's not. He has a clothing line called 1340 Collective. Shout out.
Shout out to the clothing line.
Shout
So
Yeah.
So he match made you two.
I don't know.
He didn't-
We kind of just like played poker, and then we played that one night, and then like we weren't like friends after the game. But we just kept seeing each other because we have a mutual friend, and I was in LA from time to time for Hustler stuff or whatever it may be. And I think I just crashed in his room or his apartment.
In his bed.
Well, we were already kind of friends at that
Bad.
point. Like,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
but
it
we
was,
were
it was
familiar.
kind of.
It was the typical slow progression, you know, like
Yeah.
they run around in the same circles.
Friends to lovers.
Yeah, they
it's like
kinda-
me and you, Berkey.
Yeah, no. This
That
is
was fast. That was fast. That was
yeah,
passionate and fast.
This is way different. Like
It's very, very different.
I had a clear infatuation with you from the beginning.
I know.
In spite
And I
of the
felt it.
In spite of the fact I couldn't remember your name.
It's fine. You didn't need to.
He was just playing it cool.
Yeah, that was obvious.
The first time I played with you, it was in 25K. I don't know if I told it last time I was on the podcast for like 5 minutes. I don't know if I said this. We were in the 25K together, and we've never spoken in real life. And I knew for a fact you didn't know my name. But I said, like, dude, you look good, man. Like,
Thanks.
you're Jack. You know, I didn't know because I hadn't seen you in person, I think, before that. So I was like, damn.
No, this is okay. So this is true, but this is only part of the story. So he does this. He said something about my arms because
Yeah.
you know I could see his boner from where I was sitting. It's
Okay.
fine.
Nice.
It's like, oh, cool fan. A young up and coming fan who's made his way into the high roller. This is sweet.
Yeah.
Then he comes up and talks to me on break, and then talks to me later in the day, and then a couple days later, and then I
Yeah.
run into him with Ethan, and he just keeps talking to me.
You can't stop this guy.
Can't stop
Literally
me.
anywhere you go, he shows up and he starts talking.
It
and
wasn't
you're
the
like,
talking
okay.
part that was weird to me. It was that he continued to do it without acknowledging that he had never been introduced to me, and I had no fucking clue what his name was.
Didn't feel like that was important.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So then he shows up on the podcast, and I'm going to Landon like, what's Ethan's friend's name?
No, when I was on the pod the first time, you knew.
I
At that
literally
point.
found out that day.
Okay, fair enough, but you knew.
Yes,
Okay.
I wasn't going to embarrass myself in front of all the listeners.
Okay. all the
But
listeners, yes.
but also we didn't intend on giving you a seat either, so I didn't think it was that important.
Right. No, but
Unbelievable.
you've come to find out that my name is very important.
Oh yeah, I mean we're weeks away from you being a bigger deal than Rampage. I said
be.
in the
One day.
future we're gonna have the two of you back on, and Rampage is gonna stand in the corner, like some onlooker. You know,
We'll have to find a way to try to win a tournament. One day I'll teach him or something.
That-
I won a W Cube title like 2 weeks ago.
wow, good for you, man.
Thank you.
Nice.
13,000, 14,000, what are we talking
80.
Wow, 80,000.
Oh my god.
This was a
God, the
W Cube.
disrespect.
That was a
Can you believe
W
this
Cube
guy?
medium.
Hi.
Hi.
1K6 max.
Oh my god.
These aren't WSOP rings, circuit rings here.
Yeah, these aren't circuit rings.
These are international tournaments.
I call this circuit rings. He says he's trying to like win the most circuit rings of all time, and I'm like, it's like I want to have the most doubles in minor league in like AAA.
Yeah.
Like my goal is to lead AAA all times in doubles.
Here's the issue. I wanted to do that, and then like we started talking and we get to know each other more, and now like 3 weeks later I'm playing the stupid Poker Masters.
Why you guys
Oh,
got to take shots at Maurice Hawkins like that? Yo, who eat your fucking lunch, man?
He doesn't have enough money to even pay for lunch.
Wow, bang, bang. You know he was a linebacker at a D1 school, right?
Kick my ass, yeah. Not in poker, at least.
It's a good thing that you got this broship with your bodyguard here who at least try to arm wrestle him to deflect.
Oh, that's a good story. I almost got in a fight at Resorts World the other night.
Shocker.
Because I told this guy, I was like, yo, you trying to arm wrestle? Like, and he was like, what's up? He's like, you want to go outside? I was like, no. I was like, I just want to, arm.
Maybe.
Just a
I want to
friendly
preface, we're
arm
playing
wrestle.
1-3. So
Playing
Right.
1-3. I
That's what
forgot that
happened
people.
when
All
you
right, I don't know if this guy had nothing to lose. He had nothing to lose, and I forgot that sometimes that's kind of who you deal with.
Yeah, maybe work on your approach a little bit, not just like lead
I've-
in with, yo, you want to arm wrestle, bro?
I've never had
You
that.
have to compliment his arms first.
Did you
and
Right.
then-
did you end up arm wrestling him? Or?
No, he threatened to fight me, and then the floor got called, and then Ethan stepped in a little bit.
he was already upset about me filming because I was vlogging and doing like this bankroll challenge thing, So he's upset about me filming and then said like, I don't know, all you white boys or something. I'm considered a white boy, whatever. Whatever.
With your half Asian friend, you are considered a white boy.
Exactly. Yeah. So
That's how it works.
yeah, whatever. 75% Asian equals 100% white. Here we are. Anyway, so he's upset, and then Mike just pops up and chimes like, "What, arm wrestle? Just to troll?" And then
I was trolling him.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't take that kindly.
Yeah.
So he got upset.
Yeah, us millennials don't find humor in the trolls.
I mean, it's just like
I don't think any adult likes being trolled by some like 20-something year
they
old.
don't. Yeah.
It's not even just that. We grew up fucking fist fighting. If you wanted to be a troll, you were gonna get punched in the face.
You sound,
or at least
you sound like the guy.
So
like,
you
this
guys,
is exactly
basically what they're saying is. That,
I'm just telling you, we fought with fists, not with words.
What you're saying is that you guys weren't funny.
There's nothing funny about trolling.
Yeah.
It's funny for the troller.
Yes.
And the observers.
Sometimes there are
like an inside
funny
joke with
people.
yourself.
There are funny people who troll, but not all trolls are funny.
Yeah.
True.
And like the
Okay.
Venn diagram of that is it's a very thin sliver of like trolls and funny overlapping.
So he's got something to work on.
Yeah, I understand. Well, he
He's
does
young.
have this arm wrestling shtick, so like,
Yeah.
That seems like it's only during the WSOP though.
how did it feel to get punched in the face by Daniel Negreanu?
Yo, I
It
just
didn't
read
feel like
that.
much.
Wait, I just read that in the chat.
You
What
got
happened?
punched in the face by.
Oh, he got
James?
slapped.
One of them was like more closed fist, but yeah.
Ooh.
Wait,
Wait,
what happened? What
why?
did we miss?
It was at the GG party at like the Nobu Villa in Caesar's Palace, and it was like at 2. I mean, the party ended at like 11 officially, but now it's like 1:30 a.m. or something, like closing it down, and people were pretty drunk, and but yeah, it wasn't like in bad blood. I don't want to incriminate Daniel here. He and I are
No, obviously we're
It was
fucking.
a,
with
it
him.
was a fun.
yeah, it was a
punch.
fun thing. He and I are like friendly now. Or always have been friendly, but no, we were arm wrestling, and he thought he could beat me, so I was kind of like leaving it there in the middle, like because he's I can just win.
Like the arm wrestling whisperer. No, that's my favorite Instagram account of all
Oh,
time.
arm wrestling. Yeah. Well, I was just kind of messing with him, right? Like
Yeah.
I wasn't just killing him, kind of like what Foxen did to me, where he's just letting me stay alive for a few seconds.
Nice of him.
And then he, I started to do this, and then I kind of brought it back, and then when I brought it back, he just slaps me in the face.
Yeah.
And then he uses 2 hands and tries to like win with 2 hands, and then he still isn't winning, and then he stands up and like punches me in the face, and then he just starts like there's actually a video of this on Twitter if you want to pull it up somewhere. Oh, it's yeah.
He's got the will to win.
That's Ginge.
Yeah, that's Ginge. What
Yeah,
Who's he arm wrestling there?
Mike?
That's me.
do you mean?
Oh, that's you?
That's me and Ginge.
Oh wow, you look
It's a
very different with a hat.
What?
You look very different with a
Look the
hat.
same.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize you.
All right.
I didn't recognize you, but yeah.
you get the Negreanu
Can't
one?
recognize you. Jesus.
You if I were in your shoes and Daniel slapped me, I would obviously do the same thing and just kind of shake it off because
Well, people were in
to
the
be hit with a feather is
Exactly. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, people were in the YouTube comments like, if I was in this kid's shoes, I would deck the fuck out of this guy.
Oh, we love Daniel. He's
swinging.
like we love Daniel, but like
Yeah.
that's some vegan shit.
Yeah, it was really vegan. It was real fucking vegan.
Like eat your pea protein and move
Yeah.
on, young man.
Yeah, no, it was. And then now every time I see him like in the Poker Go studio, he's always like, "What's up, bro? Like, what's up?" Like, he's like, it's like,
Yeah,
kinda funny.
Daniel's actually. I know that this doesn't fly well. Like, there's a big chunk of the audience that sees that and sees it as like very aggressive or microaggressive or whatever.
No
Yeah.
way.
No,
but
he's just a clown.
yeah, I think like when it comes to like the whole let's call it like male hierarchy of like how things work, like the testosterone driven competition aspect.
Right.
Like Daniel's actually really great about clowning through the ranks of that. And,
Yeah, I
and kind of being like welcoming in a hazy kind of way that's
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah.
I think he recognizes he's the old man now in the gym class.
Well, it's like in the during Poker Masters, like in the first 3 levels of the tournament, all you can hear is like Negreanu screaming.
Yeah.
Just like for like 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
And then the reason you don't hear it in like level 7 is because he's already 3 bullets,
Right. Yeah.
done. But
yeah, I get it. All right. Well, let's get into a little bit of this stuff. Well, first of all, did you two ever arm wrestle? I need to know.
yeah,
And by arm wrestle, I mean bang.
both yes.
Arm wrestle with your third arm.
legs.
With your third leg.
We've had lots of time together.
Mike won,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Ethan's an athlete, man.
I
Don't
know,
sell him short.
But I mean, this is thing. It's his thing, man. It's like he doesn't.
He's
lose.
trained.
I'm thick.
Tell me you competed. You hung.
It wasn't.
No, I
No, he
wasn't
didn't- he didn't
close.
hang.
I don't go to the gym. I
Yeah.
need to start doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think the gym would have helped it either. So yeah.
Maybe.
Some people just got it.
Is it more
got it.
technique or strength?
I think it's both, but my technique isn't great. Like I haven't actually like trained arm wrestling. But I'm not strong. But it's not strong like who can bench more. It's
Right.
like weird. It's like wrist
yeah,
stuff.
like you're like
forearm.
Sturdy
Yeah.
wrists.
It's more forearm and wrist than it is anything else. It's like you can have like Berkey's biceps are like twice as big as mine.
But you don't use your biceps when you
Not really.
Yeah, not
very
really.
much,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of forearm.
Yeah.
A lot
Forearm
of
and
wrist.
wrist,
My I fail at the wrist. This is my failure point. The wrist and my grip. Very weak
Me
grip.
too.
There's a really great account. I sent it to Mike, but he had already seen it, of course. His name's the Arm. Is it the Arm Wrestling Whisperer?
Arm Wrestling Whisperer? Arm Wrestle Whisperer? Something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
he's the
Yeah.
whatever. It's something Whisperer, and he just he's so good. Like he just takes on people that are like twice his size, doesn't matter, and he locks up with them. And oftentimes he'll be doing it like opposite hand, doesn't give a shit, whatever. And he just sits there in a stalemate, and he's like whispering to them, like they're doing it officially or whatever, and he's holding on to the other thing. He's like, good, okay, lean your shoulder in. Yeah, there he is.
This sounds erotic.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like you would for sure get a boner over this.
What do you mean?
He's
You're
so,
projecting.
no, he's like so ASMR about it. Like he's like, good, okay, lean the shoulder in a little bit more. Good, okay, that's nice. Yes, I
See,
feel
you
it.
could do that on Quinn, and
Yeah, he's like, I
It'd be
feel it.
fine.
That's strong. That's strong.
Yeah, he's
okay,
like, you're
okay.
why
Yeah,
is
then he'll be like, okay, let me give it a little bit of a go, and then he'll just go, broop.
Yeah.
And just bury the guy.
Alright.
Have you seen like Devin Larratt? Does anyone know who that is? He's like the world #1 arm wrestler. The reason this all started for me is because during the pandemic, or actually,
You
during
jerked
the
off a lot and got strong.
well, actually, that's left hand, but my right hand's left.
Oh, you're lefty.
lefty.
No, well, yeah, but I'm like right-handed, but I'm a lefty. You know.
Whoa.
Wow, that's weird.
No,
This
I don't
is
think it's
weird.
weird. I mean, that's pretty common. Anyone?
Is it?
Anyone? No.
No.
Well,
Right.
Burke and I are both left-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Breaking
in.
news.
You gotta switch it up a little bit.
Wow.
I see.
Wow, you guys working
Like
on the
the
stranger
numb
over
hand thing.
there? Yeah, the stranger.
No.
Yeah, the stranger.
Yeah.
That's right.
No. That's
you
not
sit
what
on
that
your
is.
hand.
That's not. No.
No.
Apples and oranges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. During the
That's-
pandemic, you started studying arm wrestling.
Well, I just started watching arm wrestling videos because there was like this clip of like this guy in a bar arm wrestling 3 dudes at once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like 3 huge dudes. They're all kind of lined up behind each other, so it's like that, and he's just destroying them. I was like, that's kind of cool. So then when it's kind of cool, you know. So then when like everything opened back up, I went to a bar, and then by fate, this guy challenged me to an arm wrestling match because I'm a kind of gregarious, outgoing person,
Sure.
and there's in the spirit of Daniel Negreanu and the male testosterone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I arm wrestle this guy, and he just like wipes the floor with me. So I was like, how do you do that? And then I kind of got 1 or 2 things down with technique. Oh yeah, who's this? Oh, it's Devin. Yeah, I always like the faces that he makes.
Man, it's pain.
Yeah, Jesus.
So
So anyway, and then so I was kind of like interested in like, how is it that people who weigh like 140 pounds, I don't weigh 140 pounds, but there are guys who are like 5'6", 140, just like destroying people who are like 270.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, then I was in Florida in April, playing the 25K satellite with Foxen, and Foxen's like huge guy, right? And so this is how it all started in the poker world, because I was like, oh, he's way bigger than me. I wonder if I can beat him in arm wrestling, because I like watched a few YouTube
Did you get
videos.
an answer?
Yes.
Can you?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
Good to know.
Yes. I mean, but he can bench like 4 plates.
Sure.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's like 6'4", 240.
Yeah, he's a D1 tight end, literally. Your origin story of arm wrestling is pretty similar to mine in pickleball. I just think mine's gonna be a little more sustainable throughout the years.
Yeah.
You're young though. Hey, you're
Yeah. I
young.
mean, I got probably 4 or 5 good years.
Yeah,
left in me.
next, it transitions. You go from arm wrestling into slap boxing, and the next thing we know, we're gonna see you laid out cold on the floor somewhere.
I'll move to Siberia.
Yeah, Daniel Negreanu hovering over top of you, like.
Yeah. I would do a streamed slap boxing match with Negreanu. So if anyone wants to make that happen,
Yeah,
I bet
I'm
he would
sure
be
he
in.
make that happen.
He would probably be. We could definitely do that.
Yeah, we'll start. We'll frame it as the tortilla slap. We'll start it off like that,
and we'll
then
just
by,
take
like-
away the tortillas.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
round 5, the tortilla just gets removed.
Yeah.
Just, all right, on to poker. On to things poker. Congratulations, Rampage. You've done the impressive task of winning event 2 of the Poker
Yeah.
Masters. You are in the
You
running
are
for
a
the
poker
purple
master.
I
jacket.
am now a master.
That's right.
You are
of
now a
poker.
master. You have mastered.
You're not in the
poker.
running for the for the purple jacket
I
because you're
am.
not playing the.
I am not playing.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the running.
He is currently in the running.
I
Yeah.
think I'm just kind of taking it off because I have many years ahead of me, and as one of the younger qualifiers,
Sure.
I have more years than them. They can take it this year.
Also,
Noble of you.
Also, you win an event and you get money for said win. You got 20 buy-ins. But if you play all the events, it costs more than that victory.
Costs a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna play the 25Ks and the 50Ks and things of that nature, it's
Yeah, I told him that'd be an expensive jacket.
very expensive jacket. You would like some ROI.
Or actually, technically, if you win the jacket, then you win some money.
That's true.
Therefore,
Oh, there's an additional bonus.
no, because
there
you have
is.
to get point.
No, there
there's
is
a
too.
bonus. There's a $50,000
Right, yeah.
bonus.
Okay.
But also, by winning the jacket, you also need to win.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Right. I wonder if anybody's ever won the jacket and been like somewhere around break even because it's unlimited reentry, so like you can fire.
I'm sure that's happened.
3x buy-ins and then 50K is 2 bullets. But yeah, still,
But yeah, okay.
it adds up.
Yeah.
Well, last year Adamo won it and he played 2 tournaments. He showed up.
That's
he
the
played,
way to do it.
Yeah.
He showed up just for the 50K and the 100K. Played two tournaments, won both.
And that kind of
jacket.
also like takes you
Easy.
out of the running, right? Because like you're never playing the super high roller bowl.
Yeah, it's like what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
My
You can.
bad. Get the
No, I was
mix,
talking
baby.
about you, not
I
me.
know you can. I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm
Chill.
fucking not playing.
You're ready to play Triton or no?
I would play Triton. Yeah,
Is Triton next for you?
I would play Triton. Yeah,
You're up.
Oh, you guys are a dynamic duo. You're not going without him.
No, that's actually true because I need the businessman invite.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is your
Wow,
businessman.
that is actually a very good
We've talked about this.
businessman pro
True.
combo.
Okay.
Yeah. And if he got invited as a businessman, you have promised that you would invite me as your pro, and we will both play.
And
200K.
You're
we're gonna have to
definitely
find a way to
That's fine.
fundraise $400,000, or actually
could do it.
$800,000.
You can do it.
I could.
800,000 because we
that-
need 2 bullets each.
That's such a sick tournament that I
Yeah,
could sell that one
you
out
could
super
do that.
fast.
Okay, you can.
Yeah, but you,
Hey,
you can
followers!
too.
Anyone in the
can
chat
too.
want
Business-
to
you would
The
be playing in
businessman
the
field.
Yeah, you'd be in the rec side.
Yeah,
on the
I
rec
mean,
side.
Mike has the talent. You have the platform. Like, let's get this rolling, baby.
If every subscriber gives me $1, I can maybe afford 1 bullet.
There you go.
That's pretty strong.
That's-
That's a lot of
That's good.
subs.
If everyone gives you 2,
Then I'm there,
Yeah.
golden. Gonna
mean-
be tough.
I think that it's it's time to infiltrate.
I want to take this. I want to take this in 2 separate ways. Like, I want to know more about poker, but since you brought up the YouTube side of things, I am curious. What's your ambition moving forward as far as like content creation goes? I do see you streaming a lot of these World Series breaks. Is this just? I was talking to Landon a lot about this over the last few weeks, where I was saying you have all the opportunity in the world, but like I think you're just to the point where you're overwhelmed. You're not intentional about anything. You're doing
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, but there's no real purpose behind it.
Right.
And what's ultimately going to happen is mediocrity. So like, what's
For
your intention, I guess, and what's the purpose?
The issue is like with like Landon, I guess, experiencing this too because he's streaming a lot and diving more into content. You just like can't spread yourself too thin,
Right.
And still like be really good at the things that are your priorities, the things that make you happy, and the things that you're still really good at. For him would be poker. For me, like it's just been a constant battle between content and like veering on the YouTube route, which I've always been, or just going deeper and deeper into poker. And I found this like passion and like real enjoyment and fulfillment through playing tournaments. It feels competitive. It feels that drive of like trying to win. Still have like infinite to get better at, and luckily he's helping out a little bit. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like bouncing back and forth, but definitely like YouTube's taking more and more of a step in the wrong direction, or I don't know, backpedaling on YouTube and diving deeper into poker. Like I like still have a bunch of like YouTube content like stuff to do, and it's just backlogged because I'd rather like show up and go to Poker Go Studio and fire away, and just try to compete against the best in the world. And that's like just a lot more fulfilling to me at the current moment. Like if it was content, like I've talked about this before, like if it was purely, if I still cared about content and YouTube as my main focus, I would just like go to Hustler, play live streams. It'd be really cool, high stakes cash, be okay with money, whether I win or lose. But from a YouTube perspective, it could just be like, they're like the Mr. Beast of poker right now. It's just like so sick to watch and be cool to be a part of it. but I still keep choosing like a $600 online
You
tournament
want the glory.
over buying. I don't know how much glory there is to win a $600 online tournament, but I'd rather compete and do that.
Oh, the glory of seeing first place is.
Yeah,
You know,
it's more competitive. Like there's definitely glory in like winning $100,000 on Hustler,
yeah.
but I'd rather just win a $500 buy-in online or something.
That's kind of, so you said something in there that really caught my ear. Said if you were to lean into the thing that you're best at, or sorry, that you want to lean into the thing that you're best at, and the thing
It's like either best at or the thing that like makes you the happiest.
Right.
Yeah,
That's, I
so-
guess, the end
You
goal.
get-
so I'm
most
kind of hearing a
fulfillment
disalignment here because from my vantage point, you're very. I think you've come miles in poker. Like I said this whenever you bought in for 100K on Hustler. Like I think that your game has improved tenfold since we first experienced you with winning the bracelet and then on Poker Out Loud.
Yeah, it couldn't get worse.
No, but he's put in
Yeah,
effort too.
you've gotten significantly better. I think
Yeah.
that's obvious to anybody watching. But you're very good at content creation.
Yeah.
Right? You're very established there. And I think this is, again, something that like I was talking to Landon about. I think what's very important whenever you're at these critical phases is, I think you're doing one thing very correct, and that's spending your 20s investing in finding out what drives you, what motivates you, rather than chasing dollars. And I think that's like a really critical thing to do because now is the best time for you to make errors and learn from them, whatever those mistakes may be, whether they're financially, socially, mentally, physically, whatever. Like, do it all now so that when you're 30, you don't fuck up, right?
Yeah.
But along that same line, whenever we're talking about whether you're doing content, whether you're doing tournaments, whether you're studying, whatever the case may be, there's a cost-benefit analysis to almost everything, right?
Yeah,
And
every decision.
Yeah, and I
does.
feel like that's the thing that gets overlooked when you're young because you feel like you have infinite time.
Yeah.
So it's
There's
never
opportunity cost with everything.
right.
Yeah.
So you don't think about the cost benefit of firing a 600 versus like creating a YouTube video. You just feel that the 600 is more fulfilling in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
There is a huge like I don't have infinite time because I understand like the YouTube landscape of there's like a 5-year life cycle on average of like reaching a peak on YouTube, and like right now who knows with where poker's going to go, but like my growth has been stunted this year specifically compared to last year. Brad Owen is like number 1 on YouTube by far, and then everyone else is just kind of like around my level for the most part. And
I think you're selling
like,
yourself a little short there. I think you're like pretty clear number 2. Like I think you're pretty separated.
I don't know.
They're like
Everyone
DePaulo
knows.
is in your realm, but I think it's like there's hundreds of vloggers out there.
Yeah, there's been a lot more now.
Yeah,
There seems to be a
We're
lot
talking about-
popping up. Every time I open YouTube, there's a new vlogger that's like 72 views just posted like a poker vlog.
Yeah, it went from a space of like I don't know 5 people in the beginning, and now there's like maybe 100, let's say, that like tried to make videos.
Do you think it's getting oversaturated?
I don't think so. Like not as much as mainstream stuff like gaming or whatever it may be, but like for how small the poker niche is, then yeah.
For how
like,
many viewers there are.
Exactly. Because no one's even hit 1 million yet, and 1 million is technically small on YouTube. So for like our very niche space, like I'm personally feeling very capped in the content creation side.
Yeah.
Because the numbers aren't growing, it's a little bit less fulfilling when you see like you get a little bit demoralized when the numbers aren't growing as much as they used to. Meanwhile, like in poker, there's this uncapped potential of like I can just play all these tournaments and like potentially try to win some.
I feel the same way about
from there.
poker content because I feel like it is such a capped audience that, you see people making content that's non-poker related getting like 10x your views, and it's just like them unboxing a blender or something.
Yeah, it's like going to the point of like, of course, we don't want to make videos based on how many views we get, but there is a fulfillment factor of I want to do something that is potentially more meaningful.
Yeah.
And yeah, content's great and all, but is there something else that we can do with our time that might be better
Right.
to a certain degree, or that might give us more fulfillment and happiness?
Yeah.
And for me, at least, tournaments are filling that drive right now. I will say, like, I think I was told before the Queen's Gambit came out, chess streamers, chess YouTube, all was around like the poker level right now. And then Queen's Gambit came out, and now they all have like a mil plus.
Well, I was talking
on
to Nemo. I asked her what her viewership was like on Twitch before Queen's Gambit. She said it was like around 100, very standard for like a poker streamer. And then afterwards, thousands.
Yeah, they had like this outside catalyst that makes them mainstream now and gives them opportunities to all these other things. So.
When you guys speak about this cap, I wonder if there's a little bit of rigidity around how you're measuring it, because I agree with you in a vertical sense. Like it becomes difficult to vertically scale or expand whenever views are like, you know, Owen's kind of setting the bar, and we understand that like 500,000 is roughly like where the ceiling
cap,
is at this moment. But laterally speaking, there's so much that can be built off of that, right? Like if you were handed, and maybe this isn't even a fair question to Ethan because your platform's already really big, but like if you're handed Brad Owen's platform tomorrow with 500,000 viewers, and you know that there's diminishing returns now on creating more poker content because it's not allowing your channel to grow, there seems to be a lot of like lateral moves that you can make that will, though your actual channel growth may be capped, your monetary growth is very uncapped, I think. And there's a lot of aspects of content creation in this space particularly that is going unfulfilled. Like this show, for example.
What do you mean, like making content on other topics, or?
Well, yeah, you can try to breach into other markets, obviously, but I'm just thinking in terms of like other content and other ways to
like what?
Take advantage of your platform. So like this show, for example, is a good example. There was no daily content in poker at all. So we fulfilled a need, right? But our platform is relatively small, so the viewership stays small, and our growth potential may be a lot higher, but it's going to take a ton of work.
Yeah.
If Rampage or Brad Owen were to start the OnlyFriends podcast tomorrow,
that's true. Yeah.
it becomes the biggest thing in poker.
Right. Well, yeah, and you see that with some other, like, for example, like Ludwig, I think is someone who's really good at this, where he started, like, he has like Mogul Mail, which is like the news one. Then he has a podcast, which is a different one. So he sort of has an umbrella. He has his feet in a bunch of different areas, and then he has his main channel.
He's incredibly good at what he's a remarkable storyteller.
Like he's built for what he's doing.
Yeah, he's a remarkable storyteller. So the vehicle that drives those stories doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I think he recognizes that. So rather than trying to continue to vertically grow in gaming, he then branches out and becomes like almost his own corporation.
He grows like his core audience and followers. I really love watching what like he's doing, because he does have all these different channels.
He's really
and
good.
All he's doing is engaging and making his more loyal, or creating more loyal subscribers that will follow him anywhere he goes.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's
There's
very
a lot of
like
value in that.
he's doing more interactive stuff. He just does a lot of different things, but it's all catered towards like this core audience that seems very loyal and like they genuinely just like whatever he does, which is probably the best route, is to make yourself the brand.
And that's kind of what I'm implying with Ethan. Like I think that you're big enough now where it's not your play. And I think that the easiest way to demonstrate this is that you've gotten fundamentally better, like significantly better. And I don't think your audience cares.
Well, the brand is still Rampant, so I'm living that.
So I
bringing that to the grip.
But I guess that's my point, is that like you have established yourself more so as the brand rather than the vehicle being what they're tuning in for, right?
Well, they've also been able to be along for the ride.
That's true.
Think that's
a lot
important.
of them,
it builds
sunken
loyalty.
cost fallacy, a lot of not overinvested, but emotionally invested.
Yeah, like they feel like they're a part of your journey.
Yeah, for sure. It's been cool, like seeing the people that like I recognize a handful of names in the comment section that still watch the videos all the way from the very beginning, and that's really cool. Yeah, I guess it's a decision of like what really fulfills me, and like going back to Ludwig, I think the one thing that makes him really successful is that he doesn't actually spend that much time compared to maybe other people with content, because he just presses record and then no edit, done.
And then people clip from that.
So talented. It's like so easy for him and seamless for him to just like make these short videos from Mogul Mail or like his live streams and stuff, just because he's very talented in doing so. I had to record a quick little promo today, and it took like 5 takes. It was a 60-second long little promotion, and it took way too long for me. So like it also takes a lot of time because I'm not naturally as talented as Ludwig or other people. So I don't know. Yeah, it just depends on like how deep I want to go into content. Like I've been making videos since I was 12 years old, and
I guess I'm throwing it out there because I do think that you have a specific niche talent for this.
I've thought about the podcast thing. Like I hit up Mariano and Wolfgang about this because one time we were on a live stream and we just gelled really well. And I thought like, okay, like this could be like successful if we put a lot of time and effort into it. But you know, I see you guys know it. I see what you guys are doing. You have to show up every single day, devote a handful of hours every single day.
I mean, you don't have to be
do
psychotic and come every day like us.
But to do it right, like this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
To just be as consistent as possible. Like I've been making videos 3 times a week for like 3 years now or something. It just takes a lot of effort to show up consistently.
Yeah.
And
Do you do a backlog?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's what I'm like. I sometimes just sit there for like 5 hours, do commentaries that will fill up like a month or something, and then that's it. But I have videos done till October, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's sharp. I think getting to a point where the process also can be more so delegated would be great. Like, I think people would die to see what personally is, as somebody who's like older in the game, and this is where I want the conversation to kind of go with next, so we could bring Mike back in. I think like personally, like having been through your shoes, right? Like Brian and I got into this game when we were 20, 21, whatever. And we grew together for a long period of time. Then we split off, like different levels of success, whatever. But now I'm the old man in the room, right? So like, I don't know what it's like.
Old man yelling at cloud.
Well, like, I don't know what it's like to be a 23-year-old or you're like 25-ish, I guess, right?
Just turned 25.
Yeah, so 23, 25, new to the industry. You guys are in a way different spot than we were. Like we had to really, it was always all our own money. Like getting back then was not an easy thing. Jumping in the highest arenas was like big risk-taking endeavors. It's very different now, right? You guys kind of get thrust right into the life. You get to be a part of a peer group that is mixed in age, like all the way from 50 down to your own age. Whereas like when we were coming up, it was the boom was targeted at our age group. Like there was just a huge influx of 20-somethings. So we all kind of rose through this game together. Our peers were our age. Our competitors were our age. And that was true of pretty much every stake level until we started playing like 10K WPTs and things like that. But even still, guys like Negreanu, Eric Lindgren, whatever, Antonius, they were only a few years older than us. So they were in their mid-20s at the time. You know, they had just been kind of set in a position where they started 5 or 6 years sooner, and they were already in a position to capitalize on the boom and become the household names, become the ambassadors and things of that nature. But like, yeah, going back to then, outside of Doyle, it wasn't like there were people in their 40s that were the ambassadors. It was Antonio, Locke, Helmuth, Negreanu, like all these guys were in their mid to late 20s, early 30s. So I would find it fascinating to hear and you know, hopefully we dig this up a little bit in the podcast, but like to watch a vlog, a more lifestyle vlog of like you and Mike traveling to stops and seeing what the behind the scenes of that looks like, getting to hear more of what goes into playing a 10K, a 25K, a 50K. I was looking at Mike's results. His first score was February this year.
Yeah.
He fucking plays 50Ks.
Pretty nuts.
I'm sorry, what? Who the fuck is giving you money, young man?
Yeah.
Who did you rob? Well, tell me the story. How did you go from playing a 2200, which by the way, for that being your first score is also ludicrous. My first score was like $100 buy-in at Seneca Niagara.
Yeah.
Mine was like a $16 tournament.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. How are you playing like mid stakes for your initial entry into tournaments?
Well, by the time I already had a little bit of money, like before I started playing quote unquote full time. Made a little bit of money buying stocks pretty low during COVID 2020 and stuff. And so
he was in on that AMC shit.
Yeah.
No, not the AMC shit, but other stuff in like gaming and tech. Long story short, I mean, I don't want to get too deep in it, but I just made a little bit of money before I kind of went into poker full time, although I was already playing online a bunch at that point. Yeah. So that's how I was able to start playing mid. But I mean, I'm not like ready to go out here, start firing 10Ks and 25Ks on my own and stuff. You know what I mean? Like not that kind of money, but enough to be able to play a 2200. Yeah. And then, so my first tournament that I basically had a result in, like I started playing live MTTs full time in February this year. And like my second or third tournament I played was that same 2200. And I got heads up with Chance Corneth at the end. And we ended up chopping it, but I got to play heads up with him really deep for a while. And so, I don't know, he was super cool, and he was giving me some advice and stuff and whatever, just really cool, right? Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I kind of like this poker thing. I'm going to keep going, right? I'm going to because I was already playing some pretty big cash games where I would sell a piece of myself to, the guy who
Yeah.
gives me a seat in the game. Right.
Yeah.
And so I was making money from that in poker too. And then let's see what happened. Oh yeah. And then 2 weeks after that first score with Chance, I won the WSOP circuit main event for 160K.
Yeah.
And I had 100% of that one.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's
yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So that was a
almost
nice.
Windfall.
swapped.
Well, I swapped. So what
Almost.
happened was
oh my
he
god,
was
such a terrible story.
yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be-
So what happened? That's a funny story. So he came to LA to play Hustler. And
this was the 100K buy-in, right?
This is like 4 to 5 days after.
Yeah. And you also won a ring on this trip.
on the same day. We
Okay.
both won circuit rings at the bike. Our final tables were right next to each other.
Wow.
It was pretty cool. We both
This
won.
is adorable.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty. It was,
know.
it was like it was
Match made in
meant to be.
heaven.
Batman
yeah.
and Robin.
Yeah.
You decide who's who.
Yeah, you decide.
Like Conrad and Corey, they did pretty much
That
the same
is true.
thing.
So
They're kind of Bert and Ernie, though.
Yeah.
You decide who's who.
So basically,
Ernie.
so Ethan comes and he's staying at my house. At this point, we're like friends, but we're not like I guess that close, right? When you're staying
Yeah.
at my place,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
friends though. And then he played the 1700 circuit main at the bike too, and we swung. Oh, let's swap 5, whatever.
We swapped 5 for 2 bullets because there's a day 1A and a day 1B.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I bricked the first 2 bullets.
I also
Oh,
break the
no.
first 2
and
bullets.
and then on the day 1B, right? You decided not to play because you went to a Lakers game.
I decided to. Well, here's the issue. Mike was gonna obviously play day 1B. I was with my editor friend Carl. We were at lunch, and he wanted to do like an LA thing because when in LA, we're from the East Coast. Like,
Right.
might as well have some fun. And I was like, all right, during this lunch, I'll flip for whether I go play this main event, which I probably should be playing anyways, or I have fun and like let's just go to a Lakers game. So Croc, we did that app. I was like,
Yep.
if Carl, my friend, wins, then we go to a Lakers game. I ended up losing. So if I won the Croc, I would have played the day 1B of this main event
And we
then
would have swapped. Yeah.
5%
So you
or
lost
something.
the flip.
I lost the flip and then I lost a lot of money,
Yeah.
like 15K or something ridiculous. Whatever it was.
Not 15, like
7.
2,500.
Okay.
yeah,
8K.
8K.
It was an
Yeah.
$8,000 Croc
Yeah.
Wow.
Unlucky.
at lunch. Anyways, yeah, he ended up going and winning the thing.
And then after I won that was like obviously really good for the role. And then, I mean, Berkey can probably attest to this. I think I network pretty well in poker. So for having kind of been on the scene for about 6-7 months, I feel like I'm decently well connected at this point. And
Yeah,
so
you're playing
Yeah.
high rollers.
yeah. So I mean, people. I'm fortunate because people have like faith in my game, and I have good results online too. And I mean, people. I don't have a problem selling.
One thing I've learned being friends with Landon is that if you're 23 and you can speak solver to people who are in their 30s and
They're
40s,
like, take my money.
Because they
Yeah, take my money.
automatically,
Yeah, that's
like they
exactly.
see that you're young
Yeah.
and playing, and they're like, oh, they're good. And then they
Yeah.
hear you talk about anything solverish, and they're just like,
it's
well,
like, oh, these guys actually do work, and they do work that I don't want to do.
yes.
So here's a bunch of money, go win. And then also, like, if you discover something interesting, just throw it
Let
in a
me
group
know.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
That's
let me
kind
know.
of so that's kind of how it works for me. I'm the guys who buy big pieces of me typically are some guys in their 20s do like I guess I can like name names, right? It's not a big deal, right? It doesn't make like Steven Song and stuff will like buy pieces like not huge, right? I'm not backed, like I don't have a makeup deal.
Yeah.
But I sell like to some like the Asian Poker Squad, like Steven Song, Joseph Chong,
The APS.
Michael Wong. If it rhymes,
So you sell all to the same person?
Yeah, and Rampage, so I sell to the same person. No, yeah, I sell to the same person.
So do you think that if you were not partially Asian,
No shot.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
playing 1-2. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No. But so I sell to those guys. And then there's also some other guys who, like when I play like really big stuff, some guys that I met in those private games that I played in LA will buy, like for example, right? Remember the 250K also had a piece of Foxen in that one. So that was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah.
know people who've had pieces of that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was sick. I was so blacked out at the rail. I was next to Chrissy and I was like just screaming like I love you at Foxen. And he was like, dude, shut the fuck up. It was sick.
Despite that, he still won.
Yeah,
that's
he still won. And I told Chrissy, I think I want your husband to win more than you, because I was getting buried that series too. Like for like 4 weeks straight, I just like had like no good results for a while. But anyway, so. Yeah, so like some guys from the private game will take a big piece. Oh, the reason I brought up the 250K is because that field was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone remembers, but after Reg, while late Reg was still open, there was like a bunch of wrecks in the field. It looked like really good. And so this guy just texted me. I texted him a picture of the field, and I'm joking, like, put me in, ? Total joke.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take 20%.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? It's like 50K, you know? So that's just an example of, like, I guess how you can kind of get put in. I mean, not the two. That's like, I wouldn't have been able to.
No, it's a good example.
When
When Seaver backed out of the 800K heads up match versus Helmuth, I was kind of popping off on the mic saying, like, you know, Helmuth stinks. I'm gonna fucking sell my house to get in there. And I just started getting text messages of like, how much is for sale?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like, I'll take up to 100. And it's like, okay, well, I was mostly kidding,
right?
And I definitely don't want to play that format, but
if you're gonna put it up,
it's still plus EV, and if I'm gonna get the opportunity to, I'll find a way to get in there.
Well, it was like 3 hours left in late reg, so I was like, I have to sell. All right, I have to find a way to raise 200K in 3 hours, like, you know, whatever. It was obviously never gonna happen, but so
still pretty fascinating. So, you know, it seems like you guys have similar interests as far as like MTTs go. Mike's background seems to be that you still didn't really fill us in. Like, how did you become so studied so quickly?
I just I don't know. I just work like really hard. I just
so
study
this
a
was
lot.
like cart in front of the horse. Like, you won first and then worked hard.
No, well, I had good results online before. I mean, I worked. I would say, like, I played. Like when I was in college, I would go to Mexico and stuff. Like, because I went to USC, so it's a 2-hour drive from Tijuana.
Sure.
So or two and a half maybe, but I would drive to Tijuana and like play W Coop and shit. You know, so I was doing some studying then, but I was nowhere near as good as I am now.
Right.
But I mean, the last, I would say 18 months, and during COVID, like before, you know, the live stuff was happening, I was studying a lot.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, you know what my process is. Like,
He puts a lot of work in.
Yeah.
That's really all.
And I mean, I can assume that like it's similar timeline for you. Like, you really started taking it seriously the last 18 months or so.
6 months. I don't know. Whenever I met him and he like we stayed together. WSOP,
I make him study.
And
Sure.
like I guess the amount of work that I used to put into content. I can't say I put a lot into content now, but yeah, like it's similar process, just like nonstop. And you just like kind of consumes your time and in your life for like a while, and you make sacrifices to a certain degree, and you get really good at a craft. And Mike's there.
What is the ultimate end game? Like, I'm not a goal-oriented person. I truly do believe, like, establish a fundamental process that works for everybody, and like the goals will come. But there has to be some purpose to all this, right? So like, you know, I know, speaking to Mike a few days ago when you guys were at the house, he was basically saying like his sole goal is to be the best. And at 23, that is not even, it doesn't even feel that lofty, right? It just feels attainable if you put it, same way with you with content, I'm sure, right? Like, I know when I spoke to you when you first came out for Poker Out Loud, it was just like, I want to have a massive YouTube following, and I think that I can accomplish it over many different. So kind of both of you speak to me about on that process, because like you're still in it, and I guess you're on the other side of it a little bit on YouTube, so you can kind of talk a little bit to how that goal may mature and morph over time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. Like, tell me, why are you going to be the best?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm gonna be the best, but it's kind of like it's kind of like a shoot for the stars, hit the moon type of situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't necessarily like. Poker's also weird because you can actually be the best and just be running bad, and you're not GPI number one, and the guy who is GPI number one is like not actually the best, and so it's one thing to be. That's why I said, like, I don't define the best as like who's won the most money or who's won even the most like tournaments. It's kind of just like, I just want to be in the conversation. And I had a long talk with Landon about this, and he was like, well, you should do it for yourself, not for others' validation. Because what I say, like, if you ask like the top 50 players in the world, like you make them vote on who they think is like the top, let's say 5 players. I just want to be like in that.
You want to be
discussion.
respected. And
yeah, because in my opinion, like having like the super high roller community think of you as a really good player is the only like reasonable barometer.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
You know, I mean, you can have like, you know, anyone can win, you know, a given tournament, but to like have sustained results, and more importantly, to like, you know, to be like, for Nick Petrangelo to be like, oh, like he's nailing that turn size.
Right.
I just want Nick Petrangelo to say I'm nailing the turn size.
I can relate. I relate.
You know
to
what I
that,
mean? But it's not because I'm like craving like someone else's like validation. It's because that's actually how I am able to sort of prove to myself that I've done what I set out to do.
It is a more reliable barometer than looking at results.
Yeah.
Can I potentially interest you in buying a training company?
Buying a training
Yeah, because
company.
like you want to be the best, and that's just great marketing.
I've thought about stuff like that.
I want to be the worst, or at least perceived to be the worst.
Oh yeah, so want me to take over?
And it's
kind of
not good
have
for
your motivations are at odds.
Conflicting motivations here.
Well, that's the beauty of playing tournaments, right? You don't have to pretend to suck.
Yeah, that's true. The downside of tournaments is the win rate. Yeah, the win rate is so.
Money. You lose all your money.
Honestly, the higher stakes you, and this is something that I've struggled with. The higher you play, obviously, the lower volume you're able to put in.
Right.
So
more
variance, fewer hours. But the crazy thing is the win rate remains consistent, if not grows.
Yeah.
Right. Like when I was playing 300, 600, 1200, I think that I was probably winning 2x what I was winning at 1020.
For sure.
And the 1020 games back then were pretty soft. Like I was probably winning like close to 10 big blinds per hour.
Yeah.
And it's like to be able to win that much or more at 100x the stakes.
Yeah.
Is
pretty
wild.
When I was playing, there was a period of time when I was playing like live cash in LA with a fake ID before I was 21, and I would play like
allegedly.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
come fucking get me.
I mean, yeah, what are you gonna do? No, I was playing like 510, and those games were like infinitely tougher than when I was playing 2550 like private games, 2551.
Yeah,
so
yeah, lower variance though.
Yeah, I guess that's where tournaments and cash kind of differ.
Yeah,
like tournaments, like the higher stakes, the tougher the competition. Cash is not linear.
Yeah, it's funny because like with cash, I understand that's high variance, and with tournaments, I also understand it's high variance. The difference is that with cash,
your win rate's so high.
Yeah,
the variance does not matter as much.
Right,
Yeah.
long run, I just see is such high expectation for money to be made that I don't care. Where in tournaments, it's like I used to get tricked by the number that first place was, and then I realized you just never fucking win.
Yeah, well, it's
well,
easy.
you
never fucking win. Right.
Yeah,
right. The worst guys, the worst.
Win.
Right.
We don't win.
Meet the new founders of Solve for Y.
Yeah.
Solve for first place.
That's right. We got a whole platform for you guys to just take over whenever you're ready. All right, so Ethan, talk to me a little bit then what that process has been like for you with content as far as like getting on the other side of it, because at one point in time I do think that you thought this was an uncapped industry at least.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I knew it was like relatively capped to a certain degree, which is how like people even like me, even 1 year, 6 months in, are able to infiltrate and like garner an audience, because you can't do that in gaming. I've tried. You can't do that in like sports content.
So hard in gaming.
It's impossible. It's just not even a thing. So like for my first video to even get like 1,000 or 2,000 views when I first posted it was huge. So yeah, I don't know. It's been like a couple of years in. Like I used to have those dreams and work as hard as probably Mike does, or Mike still works really hard, but I still like tried to work as hard as I could, have those like 70, 80 hour work weeks of just nonstop poker, nonstop content editing, doing a bunch of random stuff to like make things work. And now like a couple years into it, you can maybe relate where I'm just trying to find happiness in whatever I do.
Sure.
And I don't know what that happiness is, but I'm luckily having the freedom to not have to sacrifice some things like happiness for YouTube views or whatever it may be. And like so far right now, to be quite honest with you, the tournament life is really cool. You get to travel to a bunch of different places.
Yeah,
I'm going
sick.
to Aruba later. I'm flying to Aruba tonight, and there's Bahamas in January. Like you can't really complain about much, which is really cool. Yes, the money isn't there. Like if you wanted to achieve as much money as you possibly can within poker, then it's probably doing things outside of poker
or like private games.
Private games and high stakes cash. That's like the
Or
only
run
way.
a game.
Right, exactly. Like there's no way to make that much money playing tournaments. It's just simply like no shot. It's way too competitive and edges and margins are too low. I think that's the whole point, is that because it is really competitive, winning feels really good. And I think that's like maybe a high I'm chasing, but right now trying to figure out like what makes me overall happier or the happiest, and then just go through that route, which is trying a bunch of random different things. And so far this tournament life, like as brutal as it was, like for anyone that plays tournaments, you just go through downswings and especially
Question
playing
your
live.
sanity. Question if you even know how to play poker. Have you ever played before?
You brick like 40 tournaments in a row, which is normal.
Or
which is
85
like
if you're
2
Joseph
months.
Chung on
Yeah.
ACR.
Yeah, Jesus.
Wow, just
He's telling everyone.
Jesus
He's
Christ.
telling everyone. No, because it's rigged.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not his fault.
Do you think that it's rigged against Asian people?
Yes.
It has to be.
And for me, it's only half rigged,
Big if
which is why
true.
my win rate's like still okay.
Right. Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
My ROI in ACR is like minus 60.
It's actually
we
like,
know we did a whole
ridiculous.
episode on it.
something horrible.
His ACR, his
God.
ACR graph is hilarious.
I just opted into my WSOP one, and that looks pretty. That's
yeah,
good.
his
I bet it
WSOP.
does.
It's funny though, if you look at his WSOP graph and you look at his ACR graph, like it's like it's
He
not.
took the money from a WSOP
But
pool and put it into
It's
the
like
ACR pool.
it seems impossible.
Well,
like
it's
how
not,
is this the
though.
same
we,
player?
We talked about it. They're two very, very different pools, and when you're playing big average buy on an ACR, it does not equate to big average buy on a WSOP.
yeah, but it's not that. He's not
Also
playing a big
bigger
average buy on
fields.
ACR.
I'm playing the mix of 30s and
Yeah,
then like the
he's playing like
100s, 200s.
$30
Yeah, but
tournaments.
But
No, you're playing like the daily 600.
No, because then if you're playing those fields, I mean, those are regularly like 1,000 plus
Yeah,
person
yeah,
fields,
yeah,
whereas on
obviously.
WSOP, you're dealing with way smaller fields, so it's way less variance. But
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
yeah,
I mean,
know.
you know, we've talked about this. The WSOP player pool is nice.
special.
It's nice.
Very special.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not
works.
it's not anything in between. It's just that they're playing average buy-ins that are greater than their skills. Like it doesn't equate 1-to-1, right? Like
Right.
you can play an average buy-in of like 300 on WSOP and be playing the talent that is equivalent to playing like an average buy-in of
50.
20 to
50
30
or
on
100 on ACR. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You should see the $7 tournaments. They're really good.
Yeah, the seven
one?
rebuy,
ACR or the
the RNA.
WSOP.
It's a Tortoise Invitational.
The Tortoise Invitational is just amazing. Yeah.
I've hopped in the streets. You get some dead time. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy to
It
just go
is.
on your phone. Like
Mhm,
when I first
exactly.
moved to Vegas, it was like going to Costco, shopping for my house and stuff. I would just have my iPad ready to go. It's so convenient. It was
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the trajectory moving forward? Is it? It sounds like that you are obviously a lot more dedicated to poker now. Is this the rebranding that you're planning to move forward into, where like you are a professional poker player now? You're not Ram Punts, you're Rampage. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm Rampunts.
yeah, you keep saying that,
sure.
but like you know, you're also
like,
winning.
He's going like journey from Ram Punts to Ram Poker Master.
He does a good job with the branding,
Ram
where it's
Poker
just like, right? He does a good job with the branding, where it's like you know he wins a ring and then cries that ACR is rigged and that he's losing infinite and then
he
wins a
It's
poker
really
master.
all
Yeah.
the emotional
Ram
highs
Prince,
and lows
right.
of
Ram
a tournament
Prince.
Ram
player.
Prince.
Right. So, you know, we get to see this emotional roller coaster. We keep believing that he just stinks. But the truth of the matter is the kid's making
That
money.
he's doing better than 99% of tournament players.
Right.
If you fire enough bullets, you win.
Yeah.
I mean,
That-
this is my first 10K I've cashed in too. I
That's
think I
strong.
fired in like
And this was your satellite bullet, right?
this was the satellite bullet. That was a
Lucky
good
satellite bullet.
Lucky Saddy
One. I had to
bullet.
spin
Yeah.
it up.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
But-
I fired like between 10 to 15 10K buy-ins now.
Yeah. That's pretty strong.
It's rough.
You're even now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's the
25.
thing about tournaments is it's like everyone will be congratulating you on your score, and then it's like I actually just almost break even.
How many 25Ks have you fired?
I haven't played one yet.
Oh, you didn't play the Tampa
I'm
one,
0 for
right?
4.
No, I never.
You've only played 4?
I've only played 4. I've only been playing since April. I haven't played 50K yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
you're way
I-
more responsible than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought you were like really firing.
He's more
Berkey's out here
responsible
making
than
it
me.
like you're just firing 100Ks. Like
I
left and
honestly,
right.
if you would asked me what his total buy-ins for 2022 were, I would have guessed somewhere between like 5 and 800K. But it sounds like it's gonna be more like somewhere around 250. to
I actually have
300.
I have a spreadsheet.
Well, there we go.
Are you counting live or online?
I was just counting live.
Just live. Let's see.
I mean,
I
if
don't-
he's
I don't know
firing
what
like
it is.
25Ks online,
Mike
like
is
God
definitely-
bless.
I'm playing a lot of 10Ks online.
Are you more
Sure.
online or more live? Like, what's your split?
Right now, well, I mean, he and I just got a place together in Montreal. So during like September, it was just almost completely online. And then I just came here for Masters, final table, the first one I played, and then bubbled the one yesterday. That was sick. But no, so live online, my thing is kind of like, I think I want to go like 50-50, where when there's really good stuff to play live and there's kind of bigger stuff to play live, I'll travel for it. And then when there's sort of down periods in the schedule, which there really aren't many,
Yeah.
but you know, there's stuff that you can choose to skip. But when there's down periods in the schedule, you know, I can go to Montreal and play some stars, play some GG. Yeah.
That seems
Yeah,
good.
Mike's at least being a lot more responsible with like action and selling and all that. I'm
You
like
don't do
I,
that.
410.
Get
yeah,
lucky.
I'm not doing it yet.
410.
410.
That's my total.
So yeah, you'll
buy-ins.
probably be around like 5-6-ish by the end of the year. Got the win millions. We
win
got
millions.
the,
Yeah. How many?
Five diamond?
5 diamonds, unlimited reentry. So, you know,
I've put
we'll
5
see.
or 6 in the 5 diamond before.
Yeah.
In
No.
one day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you
Well,
do it in
it's
one
tough
day?
to do.
Because well, I think what they still do, but what they used to do in the past was day one was very short. It was like 6 levels. And then day 2, re-entry would be open until dinner.
Right.
Or, sorry, there is no dinner. It would be open till
Some level.
next to last level of the day.
Yeah, so you can keep like maxing on day 2.
I bagged the year I maxed the most, I bagged 180 bigs going into day 2, and I rebought 5 times on day 2.
So you bought your stack.
Yeah, essentially. And it was always a miserable process too, because Bellagio isn't a good tournament house. They can't maintain everybody.
And there's like alternates and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
There's
So,
a lot
like,
of waiting around.
Right. So you bust 180 big blind stack, you want to die, you go buy another ticket, and then you wait for 2 hours.
Ugh.
And it's just like,
Well, that might save you money, right?
you would think, Mike, but did you not hear how I ended up putting in 6?
Could have been 14.
It was the year that
What if you didn't have to wait?
It was the year that Negreanu was going all in dark at his table trying to run up a stack.
That's what he's
And-
doing in Masters right now. Essentially, not literally. I mean, he might. I've actually played with him.
It's
this year.
close to it. Yeah. He's doing some funky stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys have seen the earlier podcast, Berkey had sold 95% of him in that tournament, the 5 diamond, and he had like 10K actually, and not 190, and he pulled the Prince.
What are you talking about?
What is happening?
The Prince. When you say you have like chip lead or whatever, and you sell for day 2.
Oh, sure. That didn't happen. I don't know what the fuck Connor's talking about. I felt like I was too rich at the time and needed to part with some money. So I donated to the gracious 5 diamond player pool.
Yeah.
As
You're a generous man.
I'm a charitable
Worthy
man.
cause.
You know? I also bubbled that fucking tournament. I finished like literal stone bubble.
When you got second this year, you were in for 5, right?
Yeah. I got talked into the 5th bullet, and it was the
Good thing
magical
you
one.
did.
Thank God. It was the 5K turbo.
The 25K turbo.
No, 5K.
Well,
5K.
yeah,
Chill out.
but it was
It was
25K
my-
for you.
Yeah, it was 25 for me. I also got heads up with a 10-1 chip lead and found a way to finish second because I can't win a tournament.
Which tournament was this? What 5K turbo?
5K turbo in Florida back in April.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh.
That was the first live stop I ever traveled to.
Wow.
How does one
Good
lose
stop.
a 10-1 chip lead?
It happens really
Curious.
quickly, actually. So
Ask Corey.
yeah, I had
That was
Was it against
brutal.
Corey?
Brutal.
He had
No,
like a
it happened
13-1
in-
chip lead in one of
Yeah.
the bracelet
Corey Wade?
online
Him
bracelet
Him and
things.
Yeah.
Jamie in the
tag team
in the
also.
tag team. They went
Yeah.
up with like 12
Yeah.
to 1,
Yeah.
something
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
Pretty sure he had a 20 to 1
He's just-
chip lead in a bracelet online.
yeah, it goes away
It was
quick.
something disgusting, and then he got 69 as his next hand, and he's like, I'm gonna win with the 6-9 because the guy literally had like what 1.5 big blinds or
yeah.
something, and then he just kept doubling up. And
Yeah,
then he
I
ended
had
up
40
winning.
I had
It
40
happens really quick.
I had 40 bigs to his 4. He doubled the first hand to get to 8 to my 36.
Yeah.
And then beat me in a flip in a spot where like we both just had hands and it was silly that we both had hands. And then he had pair over pair. He had like jacks versus my 7s or something like that. And very quickly we were even in chips.
Yeah, it's like
Rough.
exponential growth is like, it's just
We
like
don't
you double,
understand
double.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but it's that's how quick it happens
Yeah.
because you sprinkle in a couple like blind steals in there, and then it only takes 4 hands and they're back to you.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But I believe in what's meant to be will be, the divine intervention.
I believe that you wanted to get second so that you could continue to say that you don't win. tournaments.
No, it was a 70K or 50K difference. I did
believe
not
that
want second.
I believe that in some level of your consciousness, you believe the value of being able to say you don't win tournaments was greater than that amount.
Maybe subconsciously, certainly not consciously.
He's gonna win the main event, but he's gonna be like 90 when he does it.
That, if I'm still playing the main event when I'm 90, I hope the winner or like my prize is to fucking be put out of my misery.
He's gonna win the 100th year, the 100th
He's just doing it in
annual.
an electric chair.
Yeah.
Honestly, as much respect as I have for Doyle, I do not want to be that icon to this game.
No.
Because like he at least is an OG who like was a Texas gambler and like I don't want to be the fucking internet boom kid who is still playing when he's 90 and they're celebrating that he can still fucking walk to the table at the main event. Like, no thanks.
What do you mean, man? This is what
Matt
you're doing.
Berkey playing his 76th WSOP
Yeah.
main event
That could
still
be
has
awesome.
not final tabled.
All this training, how you eat, you should be
Yeah, you'll be
strong
fine.
and sharp at 90.
Yeah,
It'll
and
be
doing
like a
something
60-year-old.
else with my fucking life.
Yeah.
So what you guys are saying, he's going to
Running
win one in 10
marathons.
years.
What?
10 years he'll win one.
10 years?
Yeah, when he's 90.
Yeah.
You see what I mean about trolling and humor? Like,
Conrad's last two jokes.
Conrad's like
God
his
damn it,
delivery
Conrad.
and his timing are a bit off
No,
because
he's not
he's
funny.
playing. Okay, but
I love
he's
it.
playing Roblox and he's high, so he's like, his timing's off, his delivery's off. It's not a good example of trolling.
he's really solidifying the point that I made. Like,
It's not a
trolling
good
does not
example.
have to be funny.
It's not a good example, but yes.
Are you playing Roblox? I've always been curious what you do.
Yeah, he's playing Roblox.
Roblox?
I'm just talking to the chat.
Okay, fair enough.
He's playing Roblox.
Speaking
trying
of
to-
Roblox, can we get that stock up? God, I'm bleeding money
What the
everywhere.
There's
fuck
a
is a
Roblox
Roblox?
stock?
Yeah, Roblox is a public company.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah.
you're all in on Roblox.
I believe in the little children of the
Yeah?
world to continually pay Roblox.
Yeah,
a bunch of
with
money.
their parents' credit cards on Apple Pay.
Exactly.
That's like honestly probably a good bet.
Every time you see one of those stories where the kid just fucking takes the parents' credit card and runs up a fucking nice little
Yeah.
tab, you're like,
Yeah.
woohoo!
Yeah. The Roblox
adds up to like
kids.
$10,000, and the parents are like, "Yeah, we're gonna need all this back."
They're like, sorry, you can't.
Nope.
Your kid
lost.
authorized it.
Exactly.
Roblox is a game.
No, I gathered that much,
Yeah.
but it's a play to earn.
Yeah, you can buy stuff.
No,
Skins.
it's
not a
No,
play
it's
to
a
earn.
clash of
It's a play to
kings.
lose.
It's a
Clash
Play
of,
to lose. Pay
Right.
Pay to lose.
Pay to lose.
Right.
to
Yeah.
get like skins.
Right.
Okay, so like Clash of
And stuff.
Clans.
It's
Yeah.
honestly surprising how well those cosmetic things sell in
Yeah.
games. But I mean, when I was playing Call of Duty, I was buying all the packs.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
People love that.
I love it.
When
My friends are on Apex and they just keep
I
spending
wanna
like
look
$20
cool.
a night.
Yeah, I want to look.
They get a cool skin on a gun or like a cool like character or
Yeah.
legend or something. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's cool that they like bring a free product. They spend millions of
I
dollars on
know.
a product and then like, okay, now we got to make this like basically a gambling version of the game.
Yeah.
Because there's the
Buying
spinning
the packs.
spinning packs and
Yeah,
whatever.
I bought a lot of Apex packs. I've bought a lot. I am a sucker. It's why I stay away from anything that's sucker oriented. I try and stay away from.
when Pokemon was huge, was that also
Pokemon.
an in-app
Pokemon.
whatever?
Pokemon.
Was it what you
Okay,
mean?
bro.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah, whenever like
Yeah, that's
you
an
could geolocate.
Yeah, was that had microtransactions in it? I think.
You could purchase balls.
That's right.
Great
Pokeballs.
balls to throw and capture other Pokemon. You can
Right.
purchase like Ultra Ball, Master Ball.
So I think we would get like a one a day or something, but you could buy
Yeah,
more, and
something
then you
like
could
that.
buy ones that would give you a higher chance of actually capturing it.
It was so big for such a short period
I
of time.
played it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember being all the rage and me
People still play it.
shaking
People
my
still
fist
really
saying,
love
"What
I
the
might
fuck
get
is
back
going
on there.
That was fun. It was a good way to get out of the house. Was it
I
during
was-
COVID?
No.
It was
Well,
2016.
Yeah, it was
2016.
way
'Cause
before.
I remember.
Oh.
Hillary Clinton. She was like giving a speech, and she was trying to relate to like the young crowd. She goes, "Pokemon, go to the polls," and it was like, oh, so cringe.
Maybe-
You're like,
Go to
"What is
bed,
she doing?"
Grandma.
Maybe
This
the
is why you
play
lost.
here.
That's why I didn't vote for her.
Yeah, that's why she lost.
Maybe the play here, and hear me out. Maybe Pokemon and Tinder team up to create a dating app version of Gotta Catch 'Em All.
I mean, I saw my opponent in Pokemon Go in New York across the street, and it was like a 12-year-old boy. So I don't know. They're gonna have to set some age.
Oh, yeah, of course. There's gonna have to be
Barriers there.
a lot of parameters, but like, because it kind of is like, is it geocaching where people like strangers will like leave a
Yeah,
treasure
they
somewhere?
used to leave stuff around. That was an interesting time in the world. Yeah, that people would leave stuff in like under a bridge somewhere, and
Yeah.
my friend would be like, "Hold on, we have to stop here." I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, like they would share it public, like the location or something like that publicly or whatever.
Yeah, but it seems like a good way to get abducted.
It definitely seems like a good way to get abducted.
And Pokemon Go actually had some issues with that too.
Sure, I would imagine so. Well, this has been great.
Really.
So, which
enlightening.
one of you is Batman? Which one's with Robin?
Time will tell.
Okay, time will tell.
Yeah.
But
We
you
have
do.
a race. Oh, we have a race.
Two?
A pride race to 1 million on Hendon.
Wow.
Yeah. He got the head start, but
Ooh.
and he also the 200K from
Is
Poker
there
Masters.
money on it?
Where are you guys
No,
at?
it's just Pride.
Okay,
Pride.
just pride.
I'm only at like 300.
And you?
I am
Half?
close to 600.
Ooh.
But I'm
Like,
also I'm gonna fire
He's-
harder. and
Yeah,
I'm-
Yeah.
he's gonna fire all the big
His
stuff.
average buy-in is much larger. You just have to min catch a bunch of shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
you'll-
I didn't do last night.
You just have to win one thing, and then you're kind of golden.
God, it's sick. Like, my Hendon Mob is. I mean, what's yours, like 600?
Yeah, yours is high.
No,
Yours
it's
is
not. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is I should probably make a pride bet with you guys of when you surpass me, so that
What
I
is
could.
it?
The
I
3.
think mine's like it's like 4.3
Oh,
ish or
it's
something
I
like
thought
that.
it was like
What
7.
do you think is a fair 4.3?
Yeah.
What do you think's a fair line for
like
me?
18 months.
No.
18.
18 months.
All you
could-
have to do is play
That's
100K.
and win it.
Wow.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
I don't think you're getting in there and not fucking winning it. I mean,
Maybe we just have a race to
You
5
see,
mil.
you know how many, like,
But
look
you
at
can't play.
Chris Brewer's at like 4 mil.
That's my point.
No, but look, do you know what his buy-ins are?
Yeah, but he's only been playing like MTT seriously for like 2 years. I've been playing for 20.
Yeah, but I mean, he's actually playing every single 300K.
No, I get it. Like
every single 200K.
Obviously, that's why I'm saying like I should make a pride
He's
bet
at
because
6.3.
yeah, my average buy-in.
Or is it 6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and he's been playing for like somewhere between 24 and 36 months.
Yeah.
It gets expensive quick.
I guess that's my point. Is my average MTT buy-ins a year are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like it has to be sub 200K.
I'm not gonna be firing.
But that's
as hard
still
as-
like decent volume, to be honest.
Is it?
Sub. I mean, you're obviously not.
I'm playing big.
No, it's just
I mean,
WSOP.
my average buy-in is probably like 6K.
My live is only like 330 or something, 350. I don't know what it is.
I mean, his is just basically WSOP and like one trip to Florida.
You had
Yeah.
some good scores
Which
in
is still-
2021. What
Which is
happened?
Still a lot.
Did you say? I think you were.
I just did my
three-
taxes. I broke even last year.
Really?
And
You
then
had some good
your
scores.
all-time money list. I think it said you were like 338.
Mhm.
I wonder how long it would be before you were like 500.
I don't think I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think there are that many people who are playing high enough average buy-in
to cross you.
that surpass it. What happens is the 337 people in front of me just
You'll never
shoot
catch them.
so far ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's probably like 100 people behind me that are actively playing MTTs pretty aggressively. And
It's
stuff
also
like
just
that.
really hard to get that volume live. Like it's just impossible.
No,
like
it's so
on my-
easy when you up your average buy-in.
Yeah.
Bro, you could play 2 million in buy-ins a year. Easy.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'm looking at a different perspective because I can't really sell, so I can't.
Now you
do
can.
it.
Why
Now you
can't
can.
you?
Yeah, now you can. You just won
A
a Poker
little.
Masters.
I can sell a little.
Stake Kings, baby.
He
works.
snap sold out. Before he couldn't
Of course
sell.
he did.
He's Phil Hellmuth, man.
You
He's a
could have
fucking
sold out
celebrity.
earlier.
No, he couldn't.
I couldn't. I couldn't
He
sell
really
it.
couldn't.
I couldn't sell out for a 10K. I tried, or if I sold it for like.
You gotta
one
get on
bullet of a 10K or
Conrad's
something.
marketing.
Yeah,
He
Conrad's
gets
on
it.
that.
I
Conrad
bought-
is
I bought Conrad.
constantly selling.
See?
I bought Conrad.
Everybody wants a piece of the guy who
Conrad
laughs.
I believed.
Yeah.
I still
We
believe.
lost. We lost.
We did lose, but I still believe. You should. And I'll buy you again.
You should have
go.
bought a piece of his mix game. That's
Yeah,
a mistake.
if he plays anything
if
mixed
you guys
game,
are fucking out of your mind if you think I'm selling any of my mixed game action. You guys are just fucking out of your mind. I'm the best in the world. Fucking crazy.
unbelievable.
Oh, you're not
Absurd.
even. Yeah.
It's so absurd, Brian. The disrespect that they put on
I
Connor's
know.
name when it comes to mixed
You're
game.
not selling it because you wouldn't do people
Why
like
didn't you
that.
play? Why didn't
No,
you?
it's I'm the best in the world.
Why didn't you play the 10K mix at Poker Masters?
Well, he doesn't have 10K, and he's not willing to sell a
Okay.
single cent.
Selling a fucking cent. Also, I don't know 6 of the games.
The best in the fucking world.
Best
Best in
mixed
the
game
world.
player in the
Right.
world.
I
That's
don't know
right.
4 of the games.
You have to be good at one of them.
But yeah, I think I want to ensure that neither of you pass me on Hendon. Like I want to continue to play just enough.
You can defend. It's like why I was playing 5-10 on ACR. I was only playing to defend America.
Right. I appreciate. Hey,
That's
from the
noble.
Russian we all
boss.
appreciate. So yes, whenever Mike, once you get to like the 2 million mark, understand my volume is going to double.
Yeah, he's gonna
Fair
he's
enough.
gonna be stalking your
That's
Hendon
probably
Mob
good.
and-
That's probably good for
Get
my win
closer.
rate.
Probably is.
So I should probably.
and also understand that my volume doubling means I'm going to go from playing 15 events a year to 30. So
Okay,
watch
great.
fucking out.
Yes.
Okay.
Will do.
Honestly, I might not have a choice if things keep trending the way that they are. I'm going to be hanging out with you guys on every fucking stop, starting to trying to create a vlog.
We
and
could
be
get
like,
we
You
could
will
get
be
2
90.
queen beds.
Yeah, that's
we could
true.
get a room. We could split a room, get 2 queen
God,
beds.
There you
I
go.
can't
Are you
relive my.
trying to- Are you trying to imply that you guys only get 1 queen bed right now?
Yes.
I don't think it was an implication at
They
all.
come in kings, Conrad.
I'm sorry.
Man, honestly, like all jokes aside, that was literally my 20s, like to the fullest. Just traveling America with these idiots,
Yeah.
getting 2 queen beds and someone sleeping on the floor, like doubling up whenever we had to.
It's fun. It's like a summer camp.
It is not fun. In hindsight, it's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like in retrospect, it was fun because I could look back and smile at all those memories.
This
in
is
the
what
moment,
we wanted to do, Berk. This
it
is what
was
we
what we
set
wanted
out
to do.
to
That's what you
do.
set out to do.
and in the moment, though, it was a sacrifice for sure.
You should have just been smarter and just always
Sacrifice
bought an
of
air
what?
mattress. Never have to worry about anything.
Conrad just says, anyone got a floor?
I have an air mattress.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot. It was weird. Like traveling with Brian and Brent and our old friend Ford. Like these guys were the online guys that were way too rich, and they made the trips worse somehow, not better.
Why?
Because Ford always wanted to go to the rub and tug place and like dust off a bunch of money there. And like Brent, literally, you could not physically move him from the room. So the room was just always full with room service.
That's
He
like me.
legit would come travel just to sit in the hotel room and play online.
That sounds
and order
like
room
that,
service.
honestly, that sounds amazing to me.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
But you
loved
don't
it.
understand. Like these guys were sloths. Like the room was always pitch black, 24/7. The beds were never made or changed. Like you never had clean sheets.
How can you change the bed when you're laying in it?
Exactly. When you're like, they would meld into the mattress. The maids never came. It was disgusting.
It's like how I do
This
trips.
sounds gross.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at that.
I just went to.
trips.
When I went to
I just went to-
Barcelona, I don't think the maids came in once. I had my sign out the whole time.
Yeah.
I just went to black out the clubs. That's all.
That's also true. Lamanna spent all of his time at the B bar and whatever the Murmur, I think, was the club back
Murmur.
then.
Yeah.
Who were you going with? Were you by yourself?
Who knows? Whoever wanted to come.
And the Borgata was so fucking expensive too. It was like $300 a night for this ass hotel in the middle of
Borgata's
an
nice.
ass city.
That was nice.
It's nice compared to the surroundings.
Yeah, but
No,
it's,
the poker
it's a
rate
nice
was
place.
decent. The poker rate was decent.
Yeah, but they didn't like give it out. Like just playing poker wasn't enough to get the poker rate.
That's
No, you
true.
had to
You had to like grease a palm here and there.
Yeah,
Like there was
yeah.
always some guy named Tony that you had to go see to get a
It's
black
New
card.
Jersey,
Such
man.
a
That's how they
diva.
run business there.
It really was very
We
Jersey-esque.
had to go see some guy named Harris and walk through the field to stay over there.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be joining you guys soon.
Sure.
Maybe we get an Airbnb.
I want to go
I'd prefer
to.
have
I want
my
to go
own
to
room.
Baha Mar.
Are you not?
We're all
like-
going. No.
Yeah,
we're
you're
definitely
going, right?
Cool.
Yeah.
Can't miss. Nick Howard's getting married the weekend prior, so I'll be in Cabo, maybe? I don't know. I haven't.
You're just gonna be living the life.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I haven't RSVP'd. I just said I would go, and I know it's somewhere in the vicinity of the Bahamas because everybody's planning to go to PCA after.
There's
So-
like a 30% chance he doesn't go.
All I know about Nick Howard is he's the guy that everyone shits on Twitter.
Yes.
That's all I know about
All
Nick
you need to
Howard.
know about Nick Howard is that he welcomes them shitting on him.
Okay, fair enough. I have
he-
no opinion on him personally.
I love Nick to death. He chooses to be divisive, I think.
I mean, it's good for engagement.
Yeah, he's a big fan of it. My camera just died, so that is
that's
going to be
good.
our cue.
So, all right.
Guapo's on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Guapo's on it. We are on the Rampage camera.
Yeah, there you go.
We're on the Rampage.
What that
shot.
means is that we've gone too long.
Yes.
We have gone too long.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Please,
Daily
please. I mean,
content.
it's like we don't ask for that much.
I think we should
But
start
what we
telling.
will ask for
Oh, and
is
the-
that you pay us through joining our membership.
And the membership stuff.
And that you click like, and that you tell us how beautiful and and inspirational and influential we are, and that you maybe name your firstborn after us. But these are just
Middle name stinks.
minimum things, and we don't ask for much.
Yeah, we don't ask for much. Let's go out. I tend to be long-winded with what I believe to be sage advice. That's probably a bunch of fucking nonsense. Let's hear a little advice from the youngins on the way out. Mike, I want you to hit us with the one thing that you've learned the most in poker in 2022 now that you're a reg. And Ethan, I want you to give us one tip on how we could do better to grow our channel.
Jesus.
I like that.
That's kind of like you just spring that on me.
Hey,
right?
I don't give a shit. You got to be prepared, man. You're in the hot seat.
All right. What was it?
What was the most meaningful thing that you've
Meaningful
learned this
thing
past
that I've
year?
learned? I guess the most meaningful thing is that I'm not really doing it for the money. And it's so fucking cliche what I'm about to say.
Sure.
So forgive me in advance. But
apology accepted.
Fucking pursue your dreams, don't be afraid to go against the grain. I don't know. But seriously, right? Because if anyone wanted to make money in poker, they wouldn't fucking do what I do.
Yeah. No,
you know
that
what
I
mean?
agree with.
So it's the reason I'm doing it is because there's something, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And two, I'm pursuing something that isn't monetary. So
You got to be a little broken inside.
yeah,
That's right.
do what makes you happy.
Yeah, that's good.
Good for you.
Cool.
Ethan, help us.
Oh God, there's so
Please
much.
help.
Oh, Jesus.
So much
Oh,
laundry
no.
list. Let me just pull up my phone here.
Oh,
I already
no.
prepared
Did you
for
do laundry
this.
today, by the
Look
way?
at this.
I've not done laundry yet.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. I like what you guys are doing. Like, the production's really good. It's just like you guys are not as funny as I hoped you guys would be.
Yeah, I understand.
I agree.
I agree.
Conrad brings it down.
do you want to know why, Ethan? Because trolling is not funny. That's
No.
exactly why.
If-
And I'm surrounded by 3 troll. Well, Lamanna, you get the exempt. You're too old.
Thank
I
you.
like the dynamic of everyone trolls you.
That's like
Yeah,
that's like
we
a
all
nice.
fucking
That's
love
the
that
That's a
dynamic
perfect
that we're
backhanded
not allowed to
compliment.
do.
I like
You're
it when
good at
you
this.
I like it when you go to LA and leave your Twitter open.
Me too,
Really?
actually.
It makes good
Speaking
clips.
of which, I will be in LA this Friday and not on the show. So you, Landon, the like, you're on Twitter
Okay,
Patrol.
so guys,
Fuck, did he
save
just call
all
us
of
the
your
the like 7.
Is that like a fucking?
save all your
rapper?
super chats for that day, and then we will collect those.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be logging out of Twitter ASAP tomorrow. So you're gonna have to find a new bit, Melissa.
Well, are you still logged in on Tinder?
I don't. Who uses Tinder from a browser?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
You can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Like
no, I'm not.
multi-table
you
and
can,
Tinder.
and then you
Yeah,
can
you
broadcast.
two
can.
monitors.
They have
broadcast that
hotkeys. They have
you can broadcast it
hotkeys.
on the screen.
You know too much.
I've used it because like I've had many periods where I didn't have a phone for.
we
like,
may
over
still
a
have
month.
access to Landon's. He's been active.
Right? Oh my god.
He has.
He has been active. I still get emails. It's
Yeah.
still signed up to the Gmail account.
True.
What are you gonna
I get
do
him
with
every
him?
month.
I mean, at this point, and you know, it's like everyone in the house is getting laid except me.
That's going to do it for today. Melissa's going to tell you all about her sexcapades or lack thereof on Friday. Tune in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. I forgot your name again. Thank you, Ethan.
Wow.
I'm kidding. Thank you, Mike,
His
for
face.
joining us.
Unbelievable.
I had to get it in.
Always
there.
a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, love here. Love it here.
There's so much more I wish we could talk about, but not fit for maybe behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We'll launch it for the membership.
Maybe I should come by for an after dark or something.
Yeah.
And then-
Definitely could come back
and
for an
then-
after dark.
Then there's a whole bunch of other shit that's gone down recently.
Oh. Ooh, yeah.
Stay tuned for that.
This is true.
Might
This-
see you in LA soon. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be in LA.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, let's go. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock on time. We were late today because, you know, time doesn't exist to the youth. We will be full staffed, I think. Everybody's going to be back. It'll be my last show of the week. I'm out of here on Friday. I think Landon is out of here after Friday. He's going to London for a month.
Is Chin coming back ever?
Yes, he'll be back Monday.
Okay.
So yeah, we're a rotating cast here,
Yeah.
but we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow, normal time. Please like, comment, subscribe on your way out. See you.
Peace.
Later.